current game that will be going tangent to this, we won't be able to cast all of them, and obviously another Zerg Protoss going right here. You can go over to Valaire's stream if you'd actually like to watch his part of the game. So we're getting started up right here. Let me switch over to Starcraft, and we'll get right on into it. So Czar, have you been able to play a lot of games lately?
Unfortunately not. For the most part, I've been running in and out of different things. Like there was BlizzCon prep, and now there's my cards, taking some hits, and so on and so forth. So I really haven't had a lot of time to play Legacy of the Void since it came out. But I did finish campaign, and that's about it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Why don't you start us off?
All right, in the upper, I guess 12 o'clock position, 12:30-ish maybe, we have the Protoss player. He is pink. He is Holy Hit.
And spawning in the lower left-hand corner is your Zerg player wearing the blue war paint. It is DB Reaper. Now, what do you suppose the DB stands for?
I wouldn't have the slightest clue. If he's a programmer, it might be database. I'm really not sure.
Well, maybe we can ask him later on. He's sending a scouting probe right away. He's going to get all the information he needs on his opponent. Now, this is being only a two-player map. He knows right where to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Holy Hit's really early scout. He's going to spot this spawning pool second. Going to come down here and see the hatchery first, and probably just macro up from there. One thing about these new macro patterns for Legacy of the Void, you start out with a lot more workers, so it's a lot safer to take an early expansion, which is why we see this Nexus first coming out of Holy Hit.
Definitely. There's really no reason to make an early attack on such a large map, and especially against the Zerg. I like his blocking of the third base, but it doesn't look like our Zerg player was looking to take that base yet.
Yeah, I think he just sent that drone down there to just distract the probe for a little while. He's got that early gas, so he's probably looking to get speed relatively quick, and from there on out, maybe put on a little bit of pressure, but maybe macro.
He certainly is being obnoxious. Now, he's walled off his base, so he's ready for any Zergling counterattacks. I like that he has his Overlord set up halfway across the map, just to see anything that would be coming his way.
Yeah, I'm not sure 100% of the builds, but we do have we have two gateways before the Cyber Core now. I don't know if that's a pretty common thing, or if that means he's going to be rushing towards the depths, or...
That's pretty much the standard of a one-gate expansion from Heart of the Swarm. Now, since we start off with so many more miners, you can afford to do something like that. It's pretty standard opening. I think he's going to be looking to make a third base before he really gets into attacking.
Huh. Is it common to also get the two gases and 3 workers on each, or...?
Yes, definitely. Especially for the Protoss. The newer units, being as gas heavy as they are, you definitely need to get quite a bit of gas out right away. So we've got some Zerglings moving across the map. They're going to poke in, try and see what they can see, and maybe even cause a little bit of havoc.
Yeah, but we do have adepts coming out, 2 at a time, rallied all the way across the map. Should be able to clean up these Zerglings relatively easily, especially when they don't have speed just yet. It's about 3/4 of the way done.
Pretty much sacrificial Zerglings, but he did get a bit of scout. He's going to know that this harassment's coming in. I would say that a few more queens to answer this would be the best way to do it. He's definitely going to chase those Zerglings down.
Yeah, I don't see the Zerg taking too terribly much damage. He might lose maybe 3 or 4 workers, but I don't see him losing much more than that.
No, I think his objective here is just to keep his scouting on full and maybe pull off a little bit of macro and micro from his Zerg opponent.
We got 1, 2, and now he's going to focus on the links, and I don't think he's going to get too much else done.
He's going to try and get out of there. Good cornering, get himself back there to keep away from the links so they can only attack one at a time. The nice teleport, he lands right in the middle of some Zerglings and some Queens. It looks like DB Reaper is used to this type of harassment.
Yeah, but unfortunately we see the Protoss has a third base down already, and not too much from the Zerg side to really be able to handle it. He does have a Baneling nest, though, and a Roach Warren, so we're going to have to hold off a little bit and see what we can see coming out of here. There's not too much in the name of defense from the Protoss.
Speed is done on these Zerglings, so they get across the map much faster. They're probably going to turn into Banelings and look for a little bit of damage that they can cause right now. But at the moment, they're pretty much just trying to pull the energy out of the Mothership core. A little bit of bad micro on the Zerglings, and he loses most of them.
But a pretty good bait. He got both of the photon overcharges out relatively easily.
So
There is an Oracle coming across the map, but I don't see it doing too much damage from this point on.
there isn't a whole lot of defense set up for this Oracle back in the Zerg base, so unless he catches this, which he flew just right by a Overlord just a second ago, I think you're right. It might not get too much done. A little bit of micro will take care of it. Only 4 Banelings popping up from the handful of Zerglings to the outside of the base.
Yeah, we do have 4 Roaches also following it up. The Oracle is pretty well easily deflected. These sentries aren't exactly in the best position. They might be able to wall off the bottom of the ramp, but...
Yeah, but if he has to pull out and just keep his 2 backup bases, that's not really such a big deal. He's not losing a whole lot if he loses this base right now, and it keeps the attention away from units that'll be coming down the ramp. Good drop by the Devourer there, taking all the shields off the Mothership core.
Yeah, he did end up sniping off one of those sentries. Oh, he gets the second one even. This is not looking good. Well, and then again, a Void Ray just came out.
Yeah,
so
there's no answer for that Void Ray. He's just going to sacrifice a little bit of life off those Adepts, chase everything away, which seems like a pretty good idea. Now, if you notice, there isn't a third base for the Zerg player on the back of this. You do not want to be down a base, or even bases, as a Zerg versus Protoss, especially in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, especially when he has a Void Ray out already. He's already counted everything you're doing. There's no lair. Oh, there's a lair. Hydralisk gun just now coming out, but there's only 9 workers on his second, his natural. He's only got 2 gases. There's not going to be a lot of Hydralisk follow-up from here, especially only running on 100 gas.
Still probing up is the Protoss player, so he'll have plenty of economy on the back of this. Any amount of harassment will take care of this. Now, I noticed there's not a proxy pylon at the moment, so he's looking to just get damage done and see what his opponent's doing with what he's sending out. This isn't a game killer, but it is definitely going to be annoying with what the Zerg player has to offer.
Yeah, especially with him pumping out 3 Void Rays at a time. If he can keep the Hydralisk count low, which the Zerg's not doing himself any favors, just now getting his 3rd and 4th gas, that shouldn't be too hard to keep around.
We'd have to see a little bit of intense healing and macro coming from the Queens, which, based on what we've seen from this player so far, I'm not entirely sure he has that macro down yet.
Yeah, he does have a lot of transfusion saved up, but I really don't know if he's going to be able to handle this many Void Rays coming out. We've already got 2 with the main army, 3 more coming across the map, and a 4th base coming down. That's a little ballsy.
It is quite a bit of a risk, although the Protoss player seems to be running back and forth. Let's take a look at the income coming between these 2 players. The Protoss is making so much more money than DB Reaper is.
Yes, we do have a Robo facility coming up. It's probably going to transition to maybe a few Colossus just to help counter any Hydralisks that may come out. We do have 5 on the way, but I really don't think Hydralisks are going to be able to take on these Void Rays on one-on-one.
So some really skilled sentry block-offs would be... Oh, GG
geez.
called. Wow.
He
Well,
sees the Void Ray count and knows he doesn't have the economy to...
that is the end of the opening match for this tournament. Obviously, 1 win goes to the Protoss player. The Zerg player saw what was coming at him, decided he didn't have what it was going to take to stop him, and called it quits right away. It looks like Villaire has won the match on this brackets that's going tangent against this one.
Yeah, it does seem that way. I believe he's also a Protoss player. He was in Master League formerly.
Let's take a look at the brackets. So we've got 1 win each. The brackets haven't quite been updated yet, but I'm sure our host will get around to that here in a second.
Oops. I accidentally invited him to my non-existent party. My bad.
I was wondering why DB Reaper had left the party. Alright, so we'll be moving into the second game next. What map will the second game be on?
Oh, I thought it was the best of 1 for the first round.
No, I think it's a best of... Oh, it is a best of 1, you're right. Well, that'll be that then. So it looks like we'll be Protoss versus Protoss for the finals. Now, since this is a small tournament, the prize is $25, and we'll be having Villaire versus Holy Hit.
And since this is the highest level of play, we can tell right now that Protoss is overpowered.
Well, everyone knows the only race that matters is Korean. So while we're setting this up, I will play a little video for our viewers.
I'm going to be extremely disappointed if this is not a Stone Temple Pilots song.
No, this is Carbot's animation spoof of the opening scene for Legacy of the Void.
The swarm brought ruin to our world. Our proud people became refugees. And yet, they could not shatter our unity. For we are bound by the Kala, the sacred union of our every thought and emotion. Today, we retake our home world, and with it, we retake our home world. We retake our home. We retake. I am one.
Okay, we are back. And we're about to get right back into the finals. We're just deciding the best way for it to go. Right now, the players are discussing who gets to split the $25 prize. I'm just going to end this argument. Alright, so go ahead and launch the game for us. game will be getting started now. This is a Protoss vs. Protoss mirror match.
And this is obviously the worst mirror. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I think it's pretty significant considering Legacy of the Void, has been out. So I really hate that in the starting match we've got this beautiful background, but right in the middle is this horribly pixelated map.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just too zoomed out to really show any of the great detail that as soon as we get into the game, we see.
Alright, so we are loaded up. Now there is a lovely little tournament trophy there indicating that he has won some of the dynamic tournaments, which I think is a pretty neat feature that they've had it in. So let's get to our player introduction. Having won his bout against a Zerg player, spawning in the upper right hand corner wearing the yellow war paint, it is Blair.
And in the lower left hand corner we have my favorite color and my favorite Protoss. His name is Holy Hit.
Now, have you been able to watch several Protoss vs. Protoss matches in Legacy of the Void so far?
I really haven't. Like I said, I've been so busy, wrapped up with other things that I haven't had too much time to delve into Legacy of the Void.
So I've been watching White Raw's stream and Huck's stream when I get the chance. There's a lot of micro-intensity going on. There really isn't two big armies that just kind of build up to the end and have one big final clash. It's a lot of back and forth, which I think is great.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. That was a big problem with Heart of the Swarm. It was just so deathball that, I mean, really, that's the only way to win the game, other than maybe blink all-ins.
In the finals, I think it was, I want to say it was Buell versus Classic. They just, or maybe it was SOS, they had two huge death balls that was, as they kept clashing and losing small amounts of units, it basically just turned into two big floating Tempest swarms, and they didn't fight each other, even though they were tearing each other's bases apart.
There's Buell? He plays Zerg.
Yeah, like I said, I think it was SOS. For sure.
Okay. So we do see some scouting coming out here from Holy Hit and from Blair. Blair should have recognized that Holy Hit did have his Nexus down a little bit earlier. He's going to have a little bit of an economy advantage, but we will see what he can do with this. Holy Hit coming out with, once again, the two gateways. Blair is sitting on one right now, but he does have the earlier cybernetic score, so he will have warp in a little bit quicker.
So that little bit of harassment he's going to be able to get from getting the Adept out, do you think he'll move it out to start attacking, or will he use that Adept just to make sure that his opponent doesn't get any more scouting off of him?
I hope he goes in to try to do a little bit of damage with it, but as we can see, if he does try to move in too far, these two Adepts coming out from Holy Hit should be able to counter that pretty easily. There might be a bad decision in the end.
So right now, not a whole lot going on. Both players are kind of settling into their builds and deciding how they're going to approach their opponents. Both scouting probes have gone back to their bases.
Right on. Economy is sitting at just about even. Army count is sitting at even. Technology is a little bit ahead for Blair. But other than that, I mean, it's a pretty even game at this point in time.
So I don't think those two Adepts saw the Adept about to go into the base. What kind of answer do you think he's going to provide for this? Because he does not have... Oh, he does have a Mothership Core. He goes right to the natural, starts taking shots.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get too much done with here. He gets 2 kills off pretty quickly. Does move back into the main, but now there are Stalkers out, so...
That'll take care of that pretty quick. Holy Hit's just getting to the back of Blair's base, and there is... the Mothership Core is not in the area to be defending this. He gets some kills right away.
Yeah, Holy Hit looks like he's doing quite a bit more damage than Blair did, but we do have that earlier Oracle coming out for Blair, so we'll be able to see if he comes up with anything else, but Holy Hit already has Stalkers out to counter this, so I don't think we're going to see too much damage from this Oracle.
Alright, 5 to 7 kills here. Pretty much didn't go too strongly in one way or the other. Let's take a look at the income to see if there was a significant change. Holy Hit does have a little bit more income at the moment. I think it just kind of rattles his opponent a little bit, but I think we'll see that settle out.
Yeah, we should definitely. Unit counting station is pretty much the same. Probes are just one in advantage for Holy Hit, but that's pretty insignificant at this point in time.
Here's where we see a tech difference. We have Phoenixes coming out for Vlaire, followed by a robotics core, whereas for Vlaire, for Holy Hit, we see Blink coming in for his Stalkers, and third base going down right away.
Yeah, this seems like it favors Holy Hit just at the beginning of this, but as soon as we start getting Immortals and other tech units coming out from Vlaire, as the game goes on longer, Vlaire's going to have a little bit more of an advantage. We do see this earlier third base for Holy Hit, which might be able to swing the match back in his favor if this game goes on too long, just from pure economy advantage.
So those Phoenix are moving out to the side. They don't want to be spotted because they want to get as much information, as many kills on probes as possible. One Adept about to roll into the base, decided not to go with it. He just wanted to get a little bit of scouting with that image.
Yeah, and as long as he sees those Phoenix, the whole gig is up for Vlaire. They lose their entire stealth ability, and it just kind of goes on from that point.
Surprise is very important. With Blink almost being done, I don't think these Phoenix are going to have the impact he's hoping. Alright, so he knows he's up against Phoenix. He doesn't seem shocked by it. He moves the Stalkers out, gets the shields down, knocked off one of them, and the Photon Overcharge will push it away.
He just barely misses that kill on that Phoenix. 20 health left.
Fourth Phoenix joins the fray.
We do see a big gateway jump for Vlaire, so we'll see what he wants to do with this. It's looking like he definitely wants to get aggressive. There's no third base on there for him.
Interesting choice, but I think he's played enough of this that he probably knows the build he's using will work pretty well for him, especially being able to slow down his opponent's units using the Phoenix. He's moving into the back of his opponent's base, gets the probes that are on gas. Good choice.
Yeah, that's always a good snipe to get those gas probes, but he does lose a Phoenix. Oh, he doesn't lose the second one.
Skilled move, another Phoenix joining. I think these Phoenix are mostly just for harassment at the moment and keeping, trying to get an economic advantage over his opponent. But if you look at the supplies right now, there's definitely more income for our pink Protoss player having his third base up and running. Large force appears outside of his base. I think he's ready to move out.
I would not be happy with Holy Hit moving out at this point in time. Maybe to pressure this third base coming out for Vlaire. One thing I don't like from Vlaire is he was sitting on two bases for so long, and he's just now getting his Twilight Console.
He's really trying to get. Oh, sorry, but he really is banking on these Phoenixes doing a lot more than they're doing.
Yeah. His third base is just so delayed, and then he got this Twilight Console. I don't know if he's trying to go for maybe some Archons or if he's trying to get Blink, but it just seems like he really delayed any push that he would have had, which would have been the whole advantage of getting those early gateways out.
So Holy Hit's army moving across the middle of the map caught the Phoenix that was going to reinforce the ones that were harassing back the base. They picked up a few probes, but not really enough to deter this army from what it's about to do. Good force fields here would be able to cut up this cut this army in half and take it out piece by piece.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if he moves in too far, though, and these Phoenixes come back to reinforce, this army is just going to be making his speed up. Pulling back I think is the right choice here.
Warp Prison moving out. He's hoping he doesn't run up against those Phoenix that are hovering around. A decent army supply appears for Vlaire. He's got enough Immortals here to stop a big Stalker ball.
He does, but unfortunately he doesn't really have a lot of support for that. He's only got 5 Stalkers as opposed to the 15 on the Holy Hit side, and he is down 13 workers at this point in time. So the longer this game goes on, the further and further behind he's going to fall.
Fourth base goes down. Like? Fourth base goes down for our pink Protoss player. That is going to just seal his lead even further.
Yeah, so we are sitting on even upgrades at this point in time. Vlaire is pumping out this +2 attack ground weapons, and let's see, where is the forge here? Same going on for Holy Hit on the other side of the map. So
looks like they're going to get +2 done at about the same time. The extra, the Zealot charge will help a lot as far as absorbing damage, because a lot of people forget that Zealots are pretty much just there to absorb damage. But one good hit from that Disruptor would be enough to clear them out.
Oh yeah, one really good hit from a Disruptor is pretty much going to end this game. I feel like just because these Blink Stalkers are going to be able to really mitigate a lot of the charge damage, and as long as these Immortals don't get right on top of them, it's just not going to be able to finish anything off.
So it looks like we've got the Warp Prism moving to the back of the Yellow Protoss player's base. As the army is moving out of the front, I think he's going to get quite a bit done with this Warp Prism in the back.
Yeah, he should definitely be able to. I'd be shocked if he didn't.
Adepts drop down, Zealots warp in.
And there's the mass migration out of there.
So instead of warping in defenses in the back, it looks like Vilair might be going for it in the front. Splits the Adepts to start taking out more probes.
He started moving his army in towards that third base of Holy Hit, but then he backed off. I don't know if he just got nervous or if he's trying to defend now.
Holy Hit doing massive amounts of damage to the economy of Vilair. Vilair needs to win the game pretty much right now or he's not going to recover from this. And he's still cranking up units out in the front now. He's got some Archons. That'll help fight against this enemy, but oh man, so many Disruptors and some good shots will take care of it.
Yeah, he already loses a lot of Phoenix right at the beginning.
Photon overcharge go down to mitigate the fight of this army. Good splits. Disruptors land right in the middle of his opponent's army, and Vilair's units disappear.
Yeah, this is, I feel like, just over.
Very one-sided battle. Good pickups on the Disruptors to make sure they don't get shots again. He's really counting on those Immortals doing a lot of damage against the Stalkers, but unfortunately they're taking shots at the Archons and the Zealots. The Immortals disappear.
Yeah, and with those Disruptors, he lost all his shields like instantaneously on those Immortals, and that's
GG is called, and our Pink Protoss player takes a win. Blind Greed.
Ouch.
A little bit of salt going on there, so hopefully we'll be able to move into our next game real quick. I thought that was a very exciting game. We didn't get to see very much back and forth, but it was kind of obvious the way it was going to go.
Yeah. It was definitely pretty obvious after that initial kind of, I guess, build order win with the really quick second base from Holy Hit.
Yeah, I agree. I think the players will kind of reconsider their strategies, and Vilair might come up with a different angle, maybe a little more aggressive early, pick up his third base, get into that economy, start harassing a little quicker. I think the second game will be completely different.
I'm really hoping so. I'd really like to see this to go the full length of the entire series, just for pure entertainment value.
Oh yeah, everybody always wants to see it go to the ace match, and I gotta agree with you there.
Oh, well, unless it's Jadon versus Flash, in which case we want to see Jadon win.
Didn't Flash just retire?
Yes, he did, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
Rumors going around, he might go back to Brood War, though.
Holy Hit has selected Terran. Oh, no, he switched over to Protoss and got his pink color out. I thought he was going to play Terran. I was kind of excited for a second. He might have pulled a Queen of Sideblades on us. That'd have been amusing to watch. I like to go back. I like to go back and watch that match every once in a while, just for giggles. All right, so the second game is starting. It looks like we have a Masters player against an unranked player at the moment, but the unranked player did just win.
Well, Holy Hit said earlier he's from Europe, so.
Oh, okay.
We're
so
not
he
sure
had to
what
switch
his,
over to NA. Now, do you think he's having ping issues? I mean, it didn't look like it.
I think if he is, they're probably minimal at best.
Gotcha. He definitely had a much more macro-style build instead of counting on micro individually, although the blink seemed to indicate that he was hoping to micro.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I'm trying to look him up real quick to see what he is doing.
Okay, so let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning in the lower center spot, it is the yellow Protoss player, currently down one game, Vilair. Or is it Vlair?
I've been calling him Vlair. I'm not 100% sure myself, even. Wait, did we just play this map?
I don't know. Go ahead and do the intro.
Well, in the upper center, we have the pink Protoss. His name is Holy Hit.
No, we didn't just do this map. The map we just played had the... Oh. Well, maybe you're right. Oh, well,
the map
we're
we
in the game.
Previously had gold in the center.
You're right, you're right.
Yeah.
So we're going to... Oh, thank you, Viper Tech. Appreciate that.
Oh, I like that from Blair. He saw that there was a Nexus first in the previous game, and then he goes ahead and blocks this game.
Good strategy. Good bit of harassment. He sets up another pylon outside of his opponent's base, so I think he's going to go crazy aggressive on this one.
Yeah, I would be surprised to not see him go crazy aggressive after all these pylons getting thrown down. It would put him behind if he didn't do some aggression.
Holy Hit, seeing it coming, has decided to drop 2 gateways. He's going to be able to crank out units to push back anything that Valaire's coming at him with. Looks like Valeire is thinking about taking his expansion.
That's pretty, I guess, different. I would have expected him to put on some aggression with how early he got this, but
Well, if you remember the old saying from Heart of the Swarm, in Protoss vs. Protoss, first to expand, first to lose, maybe that rings true if you go straight into aggression. Legacy of the Void, we'll have to see what happens.
yeah, we'll have to see.
Looks like Holy Hit is planning on an aggressive opening. He's got his Cybernetics core finishing up. Does he build more gateways, or does he go right into attacking? He goes right into building up 2 Adepts to push back anything that's going to be happening. I think he wants to clear out that pylon so he can start taking his second. His proxy pylon has been discovered by Valeire. What does he do about it?
Well, I'm sure he'll just go out there and pretty well easily take it out, especially since there's no aggression coming on from Valaire's side. We're just finally seeing the second gateway come out for him, so yeah, I would be really surprised to see him just leave that unattended.
Looks like Valaire's going to take his second and his third. With such a close base, it really doesn't make that much of a difference, and walling in doesn't do a lick of good here in this Protoss vs. Protoss match. He's sending some Adepts across the map. It looks like he wants to get started on his harassment.
Valeire should see this, yeah, right away. That pylon still has vision of that Nexus, so he's going to know exactly what Holy Hit's doing over here on the other side of the map without really having to even scout.
Only a Mothership core to defend at the moment, but he does have a Stalker coming in. The Adepts go straight for the natural, but they're not going to find too many probes to pick on.
Yeah, he gets one relatively easily. If he would have stuck around, he probably would have got that second one. He is going to get a couple here in the main before he hoops back over to the natural.
Sending the fake out to pull the Adepts out to the natural doesn't make the pull because he doesn't need to. One Stalker's not really going to do that much. Second Stalker comes in, needs to get that Mothership core in there and start working on him with those. Plenty of probe kills going on. This is a nice start for our pink
Focus
Protoss
fire
player.
was bad there.
10 kills.
He could have gotten a little bit more done with those Stalkers, but his, like I said, his target firing was a little bit off on those Adepts, and he just didn't get that kill off before they poofed out.
And it looks like the Adepts are going to escape with their lives.
Yep, we do have Stalkers coming in from for Holy Hit, bleh. And it looks like he's going to take an early, little bit of an advantage here, and he's getting Blink on the way, along with the robotics facility.
Holy Hit looking to clear out the pylons that are blocking the back of his base. He's going to clear those. He's going to get those taken care of, put down his third base, and probably looking to move in aggression.
Yeah, I would be surprised to see him not do that, especially if he does get a supply block off here, which it doesn't look like he's going to. Where should have plenty of time to get an extra pylon set up.
Clears out those pylons, no problem. Valeire does something similar. Looks like both players are going to settle into their mid game. Blink coming out for a pink Protoss.
Yep, Blink should be done here in a few seconds. We do have an Observer, probably going to follow it up with a couple of Mortals, and from what it looks like, we should see him moving on with a little bit of aggression. He's going to have a big army lead, at least to start.
Now, Valeire starts his Blink a little bit late, and he's moving in to get maybe a little bit aggressive, or at least to poke in. I don't think he's going to like what he sees.
Yeah, I would not be happy if I was in his position.
Good surround.
Roll my army, GG.
Oh, GG call. Valeire taps out. Holy Hit has won.
So I just looked it up. Holy Hit is Masters on EU, so this is Masters versus Masters.
Well, it didn't look like a Masters versus Masters, but it was a fun match to be a part of. I'm glad we could host this tournament. I'm glad we all got to come out and play some Starcraft on Friday night.
Yeah, definitely. It's a really good thing to come out here and just be able to cast a few matches. I would have rather have seen more players sign up, so we really need to get those people coming out this way.
Can we get our host in here to say a few words? Vibertech, you there?
Yep.
You want to say a few words?
Well, I think it went well in general. I just hope we can get a few more people to start signing up more. But otherwise, I appreciate the participation of the players that did join, and of course for you guys casting in your assistance.
Okay, where can they find you?
We have a Facebook page, ViperTech Gaming, as well as Twitter, just of course twitter.com/ViperTech Gaming. And we also have the website, just vipertechgaming.com.
Well, thanks for coming out, everyone. This was a great tournament. We'll take care of all the stuff on the back end, get the player his prize money. I think we'll be hosting more tournaments of this style in the future. The more people we can get, the bigger the prize pool we can put in, and hopefully get more people in.
So, IHOP, where can they find you?
You can go to my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/IHOPTV. There isn't a whole lot there right now, but I'm hoping to be hosting more tournaments as I have a better rig at the moment, and I'll probably start streaming ladder.
All right, and you guys can find me at the Zaraval on Twitter, or you can follow me on Facebook. I really don't post a lot there, so don't follow me there, actually. I'm going to start streaming more often starting on Monday, so you can follow me on Twitch at the Zaraval as well.
All right, well, thank you for coming, everyone. I believe Base Trade TV is hosting a tournament at the moment. Feel free to drop over there. Follow anyone on Twitter. Sign up for the next tournament. I know ViperTech will be posting it shortly. Have a good night.
Yep, have a good night, guys. Thanks for watching.